Hi, I'm John Mayfield, real estate broker and owner of Global Real Estate School. And I'm excited to have a career webinar for you to find out more about getting your real estate license in Hawaii. And I have my good friend Fran on the phone or on the Zoom call with us. And actually, Fran, I'm going to let you actually introduce yourself. We were just kidding. It's kind of funny because I they took phonics out of school when I was a kid, Fran, and so I've always been forever taunted with that. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. Aloha. Thank you, John. I'm Fran Villarmia Kahavai. I'm a principal broker and owner of Properties International Limited in Hawaii on Oahu. This is my 30th year in real estate.
Great. And just so everyone will know, Fran and I have been friends for a number of years, but it's kind of interesting. I've been teaching pre-licensed real estate for many years, and my wife has been after me. Back around 2015, she said, "You need to put your real estate courses online." And I was like, "I don't know, honey, if I want to do that." I had taught pre-licensed real estate school for many years. I'm a technology trainer, and I kept sending people to real estate school, and Fran, they would never finish the school. And Carrie, my wife, said, "John, I've seen what you're doing and what you're creating with technology. Put your real estate school online." So I did, and students in Missouri absolutely loved it. And the reviews were great. People were passing the test and
Mhm.
finishing the school because a lot of our competitors just, unfortunately, and I'm not saying anything derogatory about my competitors, but there are a lot of schools that just had words and you would just read and click your mouse. And I thought to
Mhm.
myself, real estate school should be more fun than that. So I put my school online and people loved it. And I thought, well, you know what? It's kind of like a restaurant. Maybe I should open my restaurant some other places. And so Hawaii was one place I wanted to get my school approved. It was a goal of mine. And I taught this webinar for Hawaii. And I had all of these nice comments. And about 3 or 4 days after the webinar, I get this beautiful box with all of these Hawaii chocolates and coffees. And it was from Fran. And I was so impressed with your kind note you sent me. And I knew Fran before that, but it was so
Mhm.
nice, Fran, that you did that. And so I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, I need an instructor of record for Hawaii." And she graciously said she would love to do that. And
What's
so
It's our
that's kind of
Hawaiian way of saying thank you,
that's right. Yeah.
called omiyage. So, uh,
Yeah.
but thank you so much for helping out. And that was during 2020, actually, during
Yeah,
that.
it was. It was. So we have an online real estate school for Hawaii where you could get your salesperson or your broker's
Mhm.
license. Fran is our instructor of record. Hawaii does require that instructors have to be actually practicing brokers for 5 consecutive years. And Fran meets all of the criteria and is approved as our instructor.
Mhm.
And so I'm so thrilled for her to be on the call with us today. I want to kind of share with people, Fran, who might be watching, how they can get their real estate license, how global real estate school is a little bit different, as I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
But probably the first thing people are wanting to know is, what's it like selling real estate in Hawaii? I know it's got to be different than on the mainland, I'm sure what you call, but
Uh-huh.
tell us a little bit about when did you get your license and how's it been as a real estate professional for you?
I got my license right out of college. I took a couple of classes that allowed me to take the real estate license test from the state of Hawaii. And I know a lot of people know this, but we have a few islands that make up the state of Hawaii, right? So if once you get your license, a state of Hawaii license, you could do business on either island, whatever island you
Yeah.
choose. But a lot of people designate one island unless they belong to a franchise who that cover many islands. But a lot of people designate one island to do business on. So I'm on Oahu. A lot of people do business on Maui. A lot of other people do business on the Big Island, but it's the same state of Hawaii license that you would need to operate.
So do you need to designate an island, or do they just allow you to practice anywhere?
You don't need to designate an island. You could practice because technically you are licensed in Hawaii. However, each island has a different multiple listing service or a board also. They have a separate, we have a Honolulu Board of Realtors, there's a
Right.
Maui Board of Realtors, and in the Big Island, there's different boards there, and on Kauai, there's a different board there. So you belong to that board to, do listings and be noted as an agent of that island. But like I said, there's companies that have franchises on the different islands. And so if you belong to that company, a lot of times it's easier for them to do business on the other islands.
Sure. And one of the things in how our business is changing, and you could probably talk to that, but having a license in Hawaii, maybe you're already licensed in California, or maybe you live in California or another
Hmm.
state. We're seeing, with as you and I are doing a Zoom meeting right now, you're in Hawaii, I'm in Missouri, working with buyers and sellers in a more of a long distance relationship or virtually. Can you talk about that a little bit? Do you have a lot of clients from Japan or California or other places that you are doing FaceTime or showing properties virtually?
Since the shutdown with COVID and what that's created is more of an opportunity because the world became smaller with
Right.
everybody doing Zoom and online and the internet. And you know too with your business, it grew from having different schools in different states, but being able to deliver it online. So it could be 2 o'clock in the morning in Hawaii. I can go on and take your class whenever I felt like it, right? So same for
Right.
clients. Every now and then we are able to do a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting with the client in New York or New Jersey and still be able to do business with them. We have clients in Japan and Korea that have invested in Hawaii because Hawaii is a place where everybody wants a piece of paradise. And
Yes.
so, and the good thing is we get clients from different walks of life and different places around the world. So we have mainland, what we call mainland continental USA, a lot of people coming over from there, selling their properties that have increased in values and coming over and buying a piece in Hawaii, as well as international buyers who want to live in the resort area, Waikiki, Turtle Bay, or Ko'olina, that kind of place, or on Maui or on the Big Island. So there's different levels of buyers and sellers that you can work with, and the internet and Zoom made it much easier to work with people, and they're used to it now, right? Because everybody's um, had to do that because you couldn't travel.
Right.
So the only other way to do it is through a virtual a call or FaceTime or yeah.
Yeah, and I've been very blessed to have taught and have been a speaker in Hawaii. The
Mhm.
Hawaii Association of Realtors and the CRB, the REBI in Hawaii, has had me over
Yes.
several times. And one of the things I'm amazed at, and we forget, is the huge veteran or the military presence in Hawaii.
Yes.
And I know you have a lot of lenders who really support doing VA loans and different things, but and I happen to know people. I had a lady who worked for me, her and her husband, he was in the military. They lived in Hawaii, but we talk about Zoom and the internet, but really someone who's maybe been in the military or still in the military who lives in Texas or Florida,
Hmm.
they could get a real estate license in Hawaii. And if they know people who are traveling or relocating to Hawaii, I mean, that's even a possibility from that respect.
Yeah, it's referral business. They refer and they get a referral fee, and that's another stream of income for their business. And say, like you said, they live in Florida, and they just need, and they want to know and follow with the market and get their license in Hawaii. You can hang it. We have a company that you can put your license there, and you can easier to provide the referral fee as well as get access to information.
Right, which is pretty interesting. We had a new student who signed up for the Hawaii real estate course this week. Thank you,
Uh-huh.
Jose. I don't know if you're watching or not, but Jose is one of our new students. He's from Texas.
Okay.
He lives in Texas. He's going to move to Hawaii in a year. That's his goal or plan. So he signed up for the Hawaii Real Estate School. But he was asking me, and this is a question some people may have, if I live in the mainland and I want to get my Hawaii license, where do I take my test? And as I told him, you can take it's through PSI. And
Yes.
so anywhere PSI is a testing agency in the United States, you can go right there and take the Hawaii exam. When I got my Florida license, and I live in Missouri, I took the exam in St. Louis. And so now I'm licensed in Florida and did not have to drive to Florida to take the test. So,
And
well, I want to show our viewers how they can get their license, but I also want you to explain, because we talked about this. Sometimes people may say, well, I don't know if I want to sell real estate. And
Mhm.
you and I both said there's so many more opportunities
Yes.
besides just being a salesperson. Why don't you elaborate on some of that?
I guess the main thought when people think I got my real estate license is, oh, you're a salesperson, right? But
Right.
we talked about you can do property management. You don't need to sell real estate. You can manage property. It can be residential, it could be commercial. Um, you could sit and do project sales. So some people like, oh, I don't have clients, or where do I get clients? Or you could work for a developer and, basically not you're a salesperson, but you're not getting new clients all the time. The developer is helping market and bring that in. You could also do behind the scenes marketing for a developer or a timeshare. You could work at a resort too and manage that their properties, or appraiser. You can help do appraisals, and there's all different avenues. So uh, the nice thing is just the knowledge from being able to understand what's happening in the real estate world, how it's tied together with the economy, with a lot of things coming up, how it's actually tied to stock market, and those kinds of things. So it's a good understanding. But again, you can explore, and property management is a big industry in Hawaii because of our is about a 50% home ownership of the residents here. The other 50% rent. So there's a lot of people renting or looking for rentals, and there's a lot of people investing. So um, you can go down that avenue if you don't like sales, or you can be an assistant, have somebody be the face of the sales team, and you behind the scenes with transaction coordinating and or escrow, that kind of thing. So there's all different careers that you can get yourself into.
Exactly. And even working, there are so many teams. And I was doing a podcast with one of the top agents in St. Louis, Missouri, for Missouri Realtors just a couple of months ago. And he was talking about starting out on a team because you can get good experience working as a buyer's agent or a showing agent for a team. I'm going to actually share my screen. So hopefully you can see the screen now, and just kind of show folks. This is, if you log in now, keep in mind, I'm the school administrator, so I have lots of classes, but this is our Hawaii course where you could log into one of the courses here. But I want to kind of show you the candidate handbook for Hawaii and just kind of go over a few items that's required if you want to get your real estate license. And I apologize, I should have had this kind of pulled up here, but you can see right here, and I'll highlight this, you need to be 18 years of age or older at the time of examination. So it's kind of interesting, Fran. I've actually had a couple of people who have literally started this school and they were not 18. I mean, they were not 18 years old, but they were able to start the school. But at the time of the examination, you have to be 18 years of age, be a U.S. citizen of national or alien authorized to work in the United States, earned a high school diploma or its equivalent. So if you have a GED, there's not a problem with that. And then provide an unexpired Hawaii school completion certificate. That's what we provide you with, because we're going to provide you your pre-licensing education. And then, and by the way, we can want to make sure folks know that if they have an interest, I can get them this booklet. You can get this online as well. And then you can see right here, you need to complete and pass the license examination. That's what we're going to help you do. Submit the proper forms and fees to the Hawaii Real Estate Commission. You'll sign some documentation and you're pretty much ready to go. So it's really fairly easy process, and you can be your own entrepreneur and start selling real estate. That in itself, I think is kind of cool because you are really your own boss. Now, Fran, you and I both will tell our folks that are watching, if you never work, you're not probably going to make much money.
Yeah.
However, you are your own boss, so you can choose your own hours. It's kind of funny. I remember I would work really hard in the mornings and early afternoons, but maybe I was so much more flexible to take off and go to school programs for my children.
Yeah.
I will say I worked hard, and I don't want people to think that, oh, you can just work a couple hours and you're going to make lots of money. But you do get to choose how you want to work and when you want to work, and choose your own hours, and you can be a little bit flexible in that respect. Anything you want to add on that?
Exactly, and that's why I love this business, because as along with helping people achieve their dreams of owning their own home, we get to make our own hours. We're flexible. We get to take care of our families too, and be there for them during those important lifetime events. And so, as well as work as hard as we want. So there were some years that we worked 80 hours,
Yeah.
Other people are working regular 40 hours, but we took that route because we chose to do that, because we knew that in this time, in this season, we can do that. And maybe in another season, we cut back. Like when I was taking care of my father who was sick, I cut back my hours just so I could take care of him. And when he passed, you rearrange your schedule. But
right.
That's really good about real estate,
Exactly. And I'm like you. I would work a lot of hours, but I always enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed working with people. I enjoyed the flexibility, and I just enjoyed that it was something different every day. It wasn't like I was confined to a desk, and it did give me the flexibility that if my wife and I or our family wanted to go to Six Flags amusement park, or go on a camping trip, or we didn't camp much, but we would go floating, or we could do that. I didn't have to wait for a vacation day. If I didn't have much going on, I could take that time to do that. And I think I will always say, and I've told this when I taught live real estate classes, I never once have gone to bed dreading to get up and go to work. And I had friends on Sunday night after church and places, we would be out having pizza, and I would remember some of my friends saying, I dread going to work tomorrow. And I thought, man, I never, ever felt that way. I love to get up and go to work. So
it's new.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said it's always new and exciting and we're always learning. There's always something new.
Exactly. Yeah. There's lots of educational opportunities. That's how Fran and I actually originally met, was through the CRB, which is for real estate brokers. It's a certification that you can get, a designation you can get, actually, I should say. But, I want people to know Global Real Estate School is a little different. We have lots of video. We have audio on every slide. I have audio feedback when you miss a question. We do live streaming, just like I was on my board there. And you know, more than anything, I'm available to help you out when you need help. Now, I must tell you, for our Hawaii folks, it could be 8 o'clock at night and it's 1 in the morning for me, so I might be in bed. But Fran is our instructor who's there in Hawaii. You can always send us an email. One of us will get back to you right away. And I use a lot of video emails. So, you know, if for some reason you do contact me after hours, we'll get right back in touch with you right away. But we do have, and I should show that, I've got a picture of it here. I'm going to just share my screen again. I don't know if you can see that or not.
We can see it.
Oh, you can? Okay, good. So this is my Global Real Estate School support page. So we have lots of videos there. So a lot of times you can go right there, type in your question, and you may see a video where I talk about other questions that other students have had. So if that's something you need some help with, it's always there. Anything else you want to add, Fran? First of all, I'm just so fortunate and blessed to have her on our team as our instructor of record, and she is really one of the nicest, kindest persons that I know from Hawaii, and you know, it was so interesting. I wanted to tell that story, Fran, because here I am. My goal is I want to get my school approved in Hawaii, and I had no instructor. And then I get this beautiful box from you, and it was like, okay, I think I've been given my answer, and everything worked out. So,
yeah.
But anything you want to add?
I just want to add that whoever's out there listening, to let them know how well respected John is in the industry, not only in Missouri, where he's currently the president for his board, but worldwide. Actually, he's a known speaker, and he's excellent, and he's so humble and kind also, that I think when people get to know John and get to go through his class, they're going to love it, and they're going to wonder, what else does he teach? Because we want to take more. That's how it is in Hawaii. Whenever John's name comes up, everyone here, you know, wants to run and take his classes because he's such an excellent teacher. But thank you, John.
Thank you.
I know that your global school will get rolling here real soon.
Thank you, Fran. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jose, who I mentioned earlier, he signed up, and I want to be transparent with the folks that are watching. We've been approved in Hawaii for a little bit of time now, and you know, like any school, we're trying to get up and rolling. And our Missouri, some of the states that we're approved in the United States, we have lots of students, and they're passing the exam. And I want to bring that same fun to the Hawaii students. But Jose sent me an email probably an hour after he signed up. He had gone through the first module, and he said, "John, this is awesome. It's exactly what I was looking for." And that's what most people will tell me, Fran.
Yeah.
It's audio, it's video. It's just not reading and clicking your mouse. And so we'd love for you to consider Global Real Estate School. Thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be glad to get the answer to you. And you can always reach out to Fran too. I'm going to put her contact information down below as well. So thanks for watching. And Fran, thank you for joining me on this quick webinar.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.